Following the tragic death of Kirstie Alley at the end of 2022, we decided to take a look back at her life and her confessions about love. Throughout the course of her life, the actress walked down the aisle not once but twice. Kirstie's love life was nothing short of a whirlwind, marrying her high school sweetheart, falling in love with Patrick Swayse, and almost ending her second marriage for her greatest love of all, John Travolta. So get comfortable while we tell you the exciting details of Kirstie Alley's love life and why her biggest regret was not giving her love for Travolta a chance.
You have to decide that you can do things that you never dreamed that you can do, and I think that's the fun of life. And if you fail, you fail. If you win, you win.
Back in 2018, Kirstie was a contestant on Celebrity Big Brother UK. During her time on the reality show, she confessed that she almost ran off with John Travolta and how she also fell in love with co-star Patrick Swayse while they filmed the miniseries North and South. The actress wasn't specific about when she was besotted with Travolta. However, they did star alongside one another in the Look Who's Talking film trilogy between 1989 and 1993. Alley admitted, "I think I kissed Travolta. I almost ran off and married John. I did love him. I still love him." However, Kirstie was, in fact, married at the time to her second husband, Parker Stevenson. By the time she and Travolta worked on the films together, she and Parker had already been married for around 6 years. As it turned out, it was her marriage that prevented the actress from taking her infatuation with Travolta any further, despite the temptations. Kirstie confessed, "If I hadn't been married, I would have gone and married him."
You know, there was a time when I thought I'd like to marry him, and the problem was I was married. There was this one little glitch.
Semantics.
Travolta went on to marry Kelly Preston in 1991, so any hopes that Kirstie had of a romance with her co-star were quickly dashed. Following her time on Celebrity Big Brother UK, Alley sat down for an interview to give a few more details about her relationship with John. The actress went on to admit that not having an affair with her co-star was one of the hardest things she's ever done. Kirstie explained, "It wasn't a sexual relationship because I'm not going to cheat on my husband." She added, "I consider what I did even worse because I actually let myself fall in love with him and stay in love with him for a long time." What's more, it seemed that Kirstie's love for Travolta didn't go unnoticed.
So my favorite thing about him is a little bit of an ego thing. Because when he's talking to me, I'm like, I am everything. I am the only girl in the world.
In fact, John's wife, Kelly, eventually confronted Kirstie about the way she was behaving in front of her husband. Alley shared, "Kelly came up to me and they were married then and she said, 'Why are you flirting with my husband?' And that was sort of when I had to make a decision and that was pretty much the end of that." Kirstie also opened up about how she fell in love with another one of her co-stars. This time it was Patrick Swayse on the set of the series North and South back in 1985. She shared, "I would have loved to have an affair with Patrick Swayse, but we were both married, so I wouldn't have gone off with him." Kirstie admitted that she did kiss Patrick and she wished she could have had an affair with him. However, because of her strong belief in fidelity and the fact that he was also married, nothing ever came of her feelings for him. She explained, "When you get on the road and you do a movie, it's very easy to fall in love with your leading man. Very, very easy." While the actress was quick to fall in love with her co-stars, she had also been married twice. Her first marriage was to her high school sweetheart, Bob Alley. Kirstie and Bob fell in love in high school, and the couple quickly got married soon after their graduation, when she was just 19 years old in 1970. It seemed as though their love was fated, especially considering he coincidentally shared her maiden name. Not much is known about the couple's 7-year marriage. However, Kirstie admitted that the reason that their marriage came to an end was that she'd had an emotional affair with a man she called Jake. "I didn't have sex, but I think it was worse when you fall in love with someone else when you're with someone, and you're plotting and you're planning." She blamed herself for the failure of her marriage, saying that because she had kissed Jake, she knew that she had to divorce Bob. Kirstie shared, "It took a long time to forgive myself because I was a horrible person. I destroyed my marriage." It's possible that Kirstie and Bob had rushed into their marriage too quickly when they were so young. Perhaps Kirstie had realized that she wasn't ready to be married when she still wanted to explore more of what the world had to offer and learn about herself. Whatever the reasons were, the couple eventually filed for divorce in 1977 after 7 years together. A few years later, Kirstie met Parker Stevenson at a bar. The actress admitted that when she first saw Parker, she didn't recognize him as the actor from the Hardy Boys 1970s TV series. Alley recalled the first night they met, sharing, "I saw him and said to my roommate, 'For him, I would die.'" The pair quickly hit things off and tied the knot in 1983. Following a miscarriage, Kirstie and Parker decided to adopt a son, William True, in 1992, and 2 years later they welcomed a daughter, Lily Price. Like all marriages, the couple faced numerous ups and downs during their time together. For Kirstie, the biggest problem she faced was having fallen in love with both Travolta and Swayse during their marriage. After about 14 years together, the couple decided to divorce. Thankfully, their split was reasonably amicable, and they agreed to share joint custody over their children.
So you want to date around your age? Or a little bit younger?
If there's any of them still alive.
During an interview in 1999, Parker recalled that he and his ex-wife had virtually nothing in common. He explained, "Kirstie and I are exact opposites. That's what made it so interesting, but being opposites makes for not a good marriage." In 2012, while promoting her book The Art of Men, Alley confessed that out of all the men that she had come to have feelings for in her life, John Travolta was her greatest love. The only reason that she never did anything about how she felt for him was because of her marriage. The actress shared, "We did not have an affair, because I think when you fall in love with someone when you're married, you jeopardize your own marriage and their marriage. It's doubly bad." Kirstie felt like she had failed as a wife because of how hard she had fallen for Travolta. She explained, "When you marry someone, you're supposed to work hard at it, and you're supposed to make it work."
It took everything that I had, inside, outside, whatever, to not run off and marry John.
Yet, no matter how hard she worked at her marriage, she still couldn't contain her feelings for Travolta, and it somehow became all-consuming. During a candid interview with Howard Stern in 2013, Alley said that she never felt about anyone the way she felt about Travolta, explaining the feelings were mutual. But despite Travolta allegedly feeling the same way, they didn't act on their feelings. She confessed,
What do you think?
I don't know. I think we like each other.
I think we like each other.
"It took me years to not look at John as a romantic interest," she said, adding that he was the greatest love of my life. Kirstie shared, "It was the hardest decision I've ever made because I was madly in love with him. We were fun and funny together." She went on to explain that she and John would have devoured each other because they were so alike, adding, "It would be like two blazing stars that just fizzled out."
I think that the greatest thing about John and I, and when I say he's the love of my life, is because he's the only person that I loved in a way that I would want to run off and marry him, and then I was able to change it into being best friends. And I'm not that way with guys. If I'm married to you or if I'm with you and we're done, dude.
It seems one of Kirstie's biggest regrets was that she and John never got the chance to see where their love could take them. Sadly, on the 5th of December 2022, Kirstie tragically passed away at the age of 71 after a very short battle with cancer that she had only recently discovered. Her family announced, "We are sad to inform you that our incredible, fierce, and loving mother has passed away." They shared that Kirstie was surrounded by her closest friends and family during her last moments, adding, "As iconic as she was on screen, she was an even more amazing mother and grandmother." In the wake of Alley's sudden death, Travolta led a wave of online celebrity remembrances by posting a photo of the two of them on Instagram. Travolta wrote, "Kirstie was one of the most special relationships I've ever had. I love you, Kirstie. I know we will see each other again." The actor also shared a clip of himself and Kirstie performing the Dance of Love and Look Who's Talking Now on his Instagram story. Kirstie's ex-husband Parker also mourned the loss of her death after. He paid a heartwarming tribute to his ex-wife Alley on social media, writing, "Dear Kirstie, I am so grateful for our years together and for the two incredibly beautiful children and now grandchildren that we have. You will be missed. With love, Parker." There's no doubt that Kirstie Alley was an icon, and her memory will forever live on through all those who love her and the legacy she left behind. We'd like to express our most sincere condolences to Kirstie's family, and we hope they're able to find peace after the loss of someone who made such a wonderful impact on those around her. Be well and be kind.